Preston.
There you go. Yeah.
Preston. Tyrone. That's pretty good. Man. A lot of funny names. All right, let's get back to the calls, man. 888-957-9570. Big Smooth in Oakland. Big Smoothie.
Oh, Big Smoothie.
Big Smooth. What's happening, baby? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Top of the morning. Hey, man, listen. I heard you guys yesterday. You're talking about the Warriors and whatever broadcast that was. But listen, man, the next person that says to me, De'Anthony Melton has a bad back, you think that they would have signed the guy wondering about his back? You think that they didn't probe his medical records and see what the back was? Stop it with the big. I don't know if he has a bad back. Here's what I like about this team. It is a very versatile roster. I hope they don't get Laurie because he'll throw off the balance. You know how many lineups Steve Kerr is going to use with this team? And do you see Ron Adams salivating at the defenses he can throw out there? To be quite honest with you, I think if they just get a backup point guard, I'm good with this team, man. And, I'm going to tell you, I was giving I was giving him an F, but right now I'm looking at a solid B- to a B+. I like it.
Big Smooth. Do you think Pods could be your backup point guard? Because I don't know if he's good.
Yeah. I think he could be a good combo, but I like Melton.
Yeah, I do like Melton.
And Steph. And then you got, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Slow-Mo is a lockdown dude, man. He's kind of like a poor man's Sean Livingston. I mean, real poor. Sean Livingston. But with good defense. I like his defense. I like this team, man.
Big Smooth, I called him. Hey, no, you know what, Big Smooth? Thanks for the call. I said yesterday maybe a poor man's Iguodala because of his ball handling, but Livingston is not a bad cop. I'm not mad at Livingston, but I think we're all in the same ballpark here when it comes to Slow-Mo. The expectations, look, he's going to stabilize the offense. He's going to handle the ball. He's going to get to the lane. He's got a floor. He could be a small ball 5. He's got length. So I'm not mad at it. I do need one more piece. I would like to get bigger in the backcourt. All right, Buddy Hield's 6'4". We know what he's going to do. He's not going to defend. He's going to shoot the ball. He's going to shoot the lights out. That's what Buddy Hield is. He's a shooter, and he's going to shoot.
Nothing else.
Nothing.
He is a shooter.
He is a shooter. The definition of shooter. Buddy Hield's picture's right next to it, all right? It's fine. But I do want to get a little more size because right now in the backcourt, when I just look at the guards, like the small guard, Curry, Gary Payton II, Pods, and De'Anthony Melton. That's small.
It's very small.
That's really, really small. And there's a lot of big guards in the Western Conference. Yes. So can I get bigger in the guard department? You may not be able to at this point. You just may not be able to. So can I get bigger in the back end? That's why this whole thing about Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins, those two guys right now are your best defenders at the point of attack.
Yeah.
And when I think about Wiggins and Kuminga, these are guys who can guard the Lukas, who can try to guard the Devin Bookers, who can try to guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You got to worry about him in Oklahoma City. You got Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. You have Jamal Murray in Denver.
I was going to say,
you got dudes in this conference, man. You still got James Harden and the Clippers, even though I'm not as concerned about James Harden. Lakers are still big. So I would like to get a little bigger at the guard spot. But maybe that's why you hold on to Kuminga and you hold on to Wiggins, because you need those defenders on the perimeter. Those two guys can defend on the perimeter.
I would toss in Moses Moody as well. And I know,
that's a good call. We're all forgetting about Moses Moody.
Where's he standing right now on this totem pole, Bonte? Because right now, when I saw the initial thing for Buddy Hield, when it was finalized, because it was obviously a couple days after Shams reported it, and then it came finalized, Sam Levin and I were talking about it when it broke. What was it, Friday? I was like, what does this mean for Moses Moody? Like, if he's already behind the 8 ball when it comes to Podziemski, and then you got Melton, and you got Hield, like, where are the minutes for Moses Moody going to come from on this team? Like, and I think a lot of fans are like, what the hell's going on here? Because I swear to God, it's a conversation every other day on 95.7 The Game. Why isn't Moody getting more minutes? He gets some run, and then he doesn't. And then he is never put in a position where he could build momentum and build confidence, even though I think his confidence is pretty good, judging from when he had to go up and down the G League a couple of years ago. I think he was up there for the most part, but just not getting the consistent minutes. But when he's gotten them, he's just a serviceable player. Both ends of the court, he's a hustle guy. Yep. He runs to the balls, like he can knock down the 3-point shot, and he's got size. Like that's the thing for me. He's got size and he's got athleticism. I would like to see more of Moses Moody in this, and I get it. Podziemski, he showed some flashes last year, but I think he's just been given a longer leash than Moses Moody has ever been given. And I think that sticks in the craw of a lot of Golden State Warriors fans.
You're spot on with that assessment there with Moses Moody. You're spot on. And I just made the mistake. I forgot about him. And I've been saying, telling other people.
We all do.
I say, but what about Moses Moody? It's obvious that in these deals, for whether it's Paul George or Larry Markkinen, that Moody's probably part of those deals and part of those packages. Maybe he feels like that. It certainly feels like that. But you are right. 6'5". He's another first-round pick from the 2021 draft next to Jonathan Kuminga. It took him ahead of Trey Murphy III down in New Orleans. And Trey Murphy III, he's a baller, right? You don't want to go back saying, damn, you could have had Trey Murphy instead of Moses Moody or whatnot. But it is what it is. I think Moses Moody can play this game at a high level. I really do. And maybe that is your starting two guard. I don't think Steve Kerr's just going to head out this job and say, go ahead, starting two guard. Pods, it's yours. No. He's going to have to work for this. And Moses Moody he's trying to make a name for himself now. He's going to be up for what we're not talking about here with Moses Moody. We're all talking about Jonathan Kuminga becoming a $200 million player. Well, where's Moses Moody's money at right now? He's got to try to get paid. He's got to try to make sure he's got some type of value here around the league. So it's a good call with Moses Moody. We are sleeping on him.
He's only 22. He's still so young.
No doubt. We're sleeping on him. And it just feels like you're right with the hustle plays and everything. When he does plays, he may get beat backdoor every now and then. He may not be the best dribbler or whatnot. He may not be the most athletic, especially when it comes to lateral quickness, but it does feel like he knows where to be at all times. He's never out of position. He's going to make the right basketball play. So will he get that opportunity or will he be flipped for something? But you're right. That is one guy who has some size and could maybe play in the backcourt.
Exactly. So, and then Big Smooth, who just called recently, he started off the call when he said, and I had to look this up too, stop talking about De'Anthony Melton's back injury and stuff like that. He's going to be fine. I was like, well, I didn't know it was this kind of a back injury, Bonte, when I looked into it. It was a lumbar stress reaction in his spine. Spinal. I'm going Mike Tyson here.
Spinal.
Whenever I hear that word or like neck, those are the two areas of the body, especially with basketball players, that concern me.
Yeah.
And I get it. The guy's been retired since it, but Steve Kerr dealt with a lot on his spine alone. I think we forget about that. That is one area of the body that concerns me greatly. So I hope he is back to 100%. I think he said in his press conference he feels great, all that sort of stuff. That does give me a little bit pause going forward to how much I could trust this guy. And listen, this has been a team that has struggled when it comes to, I know Draymond's suspensions, but with injuries.
Yeah, Draymond's back.
Draymond's back.
Gary Payton II.
Yes.
Can't stay on the floor.
Steph's getting older.
Steph's getting older. Kuminga had the knee tendonitis late in the season.
Because he had the workload. Yes.
Andrew Wiggins has had some adductor strains, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He's missed some time, so due to injuries. So we'll see about that. Speaking of Melton, here's what he said about joining the Warriors team.
Hey.
That's kind of tough because understanding everything they went through the last, 13 years, they was together, and, four championships they won. So it's nothing I can do to replace it, emotionally and mentally. So all I can do is just go out there, play my game, play hard, and, show why other fan bases, other fans love me too, and everything I bring to the table. So I love to win. I love my ability to figure out ways to win, and I think that's what this organization appreciates the most is figuring out ways to win no matter what.
And that's Melton basically trying to replace Klay Thompson. He's not going to be able to replace Klay Thompson and love this fan base have for him. We're going to hear from Klay Thompson at 8 o'clock when he's introduced to the Dallas media and the Dallas fan base. Your new Maverick, Klay Thompson, wearing number 31 in honor of Reggie Miller, one of his favorite players growing up. So Michael Thompson was on with Willard or Dibs yesterday. He picked Dallas.
He was great.
He was great. And I think people are overlooking the Dallas situation with Klay Thompson. Look, we're going to move off from Klay Thompson. We'll do King of the Hill.
You think that was his number one choice, Bonte? You think he wanted to go? I think he really wanted to go to the Lakers, to be honest with you. But I don't think the Warriors were doing business with them.
And I just think he wanted out of the fishbowl.
Okay.
And when we say the fishbowl, the Golden State Warriors have been right next to the Lakers over the last decade in terms of the headlines, the coverage, the media attention, everything's hyper-focused, his fan base. And I think he goes to Texas where, let's be real, it's a football state.
Yes.
They love their football, whether it's the Texas Longhorns, Texas A&M Aggies, or the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean?
Or hell, the Texas Rangers, who I know is baseball, they just won a World Series. That place is packed in day in and day out.
They do love their baseball down there. They do love their baseball down there. So the Mavericks, they could be second fiddle, they could be third fiddle. And he gets to play alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who are going to take all the headlines. He can just kind of lay in the cut. And I also think the most underrated thing about this move is he gets to play for Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd understands veteran players. He understands NBA superstars. And how do you think Kyrie Irving's got his head on straight? Jason Kidd. He's going to do wonders for Klay Thompson. Hey, I was a veteran. We moved around. You look at that 2011 Dallas Mavericks team, a lot of cast-offs, right? You know what I mean? Sean Marion, Jason Terry. Who else was it? Jason Kidd was on that roster.
JJ Barea?
Yeah, JJ Barea. Yeah, Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
You had a lot of guys who kind of cast offs and found their way in Dallas.
Peja was on that team, wasn't he?
Peja Stojakovic was on that team, backing it up.
He was clutch.
Deshaun Stevenson.
Yep.
Remember him?
God, that team was hilarious. And the fact that was one of the greatest postseason runs ever.
By
Dirk
Dirk.
literally put that team of, I'm not going to say cast-offs, but like kind of over-the-hill team and just went through the Lakers with Kobe, went through OKC. I want to say they beat the Spurs in that run. They might have. It was Spurs or the Grizzlies, who were also very good. That I forget which team it was.
No, Dallas. I know they beat OKC in the. They swept the Lakers.
They swept the Lakers.
That was in the second round.
That was in the second round.
And they
correct.
beat OKC in the Western Conference Finals.
And then they handled the Heat.
They handled the Heat.
The Heatles. So
the
Heatles. That was an amazing team. To your point, I didn't think about this with Jason Kidd. Like he really did have to fail a couple times.
Yep.
Get that assistant job with the Lakers and Frank Vogel, won the bubble chip, came out of that, and I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, they got to the Western Conference Finals. I think they kind of not overplayed, but they outshot expectations during that run with Luka. They had Hardaway Jr., they had Jalen Brunson there.
Right.
But I didn't expect them to be this good this past year, and he's done a hell of a job, to your point.
Hell of a job.
So Klay's going into a very good situation. I think about this, Bonte. Maybe this is a question we could ask to the callers at 888-957-9570. De'Anthony Melton said there he's not going to try to beat Klay Thompson. He's just going to be his own player. He's not replacing him. Kyle Anderson's not replacing. Buddy Hield, none of these guys are replacing him.
Right.
But I do wonder, now that Klay is gone, who's going to be that one player with the most pressure from the fan base? We know it's not going to be Stephen Curry. Steph's not going to be the guy the fans go after.
Two guys.
Draymond Green?
Two guys come to my mind, popped in my head right away. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's a hell of a question. And I would love to hear from the fan base. 888-957-9570. It's Draymond Green and it's Jonathan Kuminga. Draymond and Jonathan Kuminga. Because Draymond is part of the big three. We know what happened last season. We know what happened the season before. Draymond Green's got a big spotlight on him.
Is that just not getting suspended? It might be as simple as that, right?
You got to help this team win at a high level. You got to hit open threes. You got to be on the court, because everybody see the podcast in the offseason. It's like, dude, Draymond's talking about everybody. Everybody. So it's Draymond Green and it's Jonathan Kuminga.